The opinions expressed in the following program are that of the host and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of CWC Entertainment Group LLC, its affiliates, or any employee thereof.
Yeah. I might make a wonder. Welcome to the Vincent radio show. They do a big y'all. Great music, laughs, there's so much more. Hey, keep it in, y'all.
Hey, y'all, what up? Syndicated award winners of VTRS online. It's that young man Remon holding it down for the rest of the cast and crew of the Vincent Tucker radio show. Shout out to my player partners, everybody out there. Shout out to Vincent Heartbreak Tucker, Charity E, Miss Keena, Yellow Star. In the studio rocking with me right now is the man who is no stranger to this broadcast. You may remember him from his hit song Jordans Under Dickies with Don Claude and the UGK legendary Bun B. He is an official, unofficial sixth member of the Vincent Tucker radio show. This is my player partner, my comrade, my brother from another mother. Alright, the ballots are all in, ladies and gentlemen. The constituents have spoken, and their voices have been heard loud and clear.
Amen.
4 more years is what they wanted.
That's what they want.
4 more years is what they're gonna get.
That's what they got.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the mayor of Oak Cliff, Texas.
Can you dig it?
Suave Burgandy.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgandy. I'm absolutely ecstatic to find out that I'm the official sixth man. I feel like
you're coming off the bench.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Marlon Wayans. I feel like Marlon Wayans in the sixth man.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like a Kadeem Hardison type thing going on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we need, you know what I'm saying, somebody to come off the bench for us, you know, I always put it in the corner of my brother.
I feel like, especially with the holiday season coming up, this is how we can equate my role to the show.
Yes,
I'm that cousin who pulls up for the holidays.
Yeah.
That you go on the store run with.
Right. When we run out of ice, when we need some more drink.
Right.
Yeah.
We all get in the car together. We go turn a couple of corners. It might take us an hour to get a bag of ice.
Yes, sir.
Be alright.
Be alright.
Everything be cool.
Alright, so how's everything been going for you, brother?
Man, I can't do no complaining, bruh. I'm living my best life, to borrow some little Duval rhetoric.
Yeah.
So, I can't really complain. Everything's good, man. We working on Mayor Music 3 is coming, Swavetoberfest. We're gonna sprinkle that out so everybody can be blessed for the holiday season. So,
okay.
Things are looking up.
Alright, man. So, like the last time you was in the studio, you was here promoting Mayor Music 2, right?
These are true.
So what year was that?
That's, I believe that was 2015.
2015.
I've done a lot of other stuff since then.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that. Oh, real quick, you know what I'm saying, cause since 2015 we done upped our game a little bit.
We have.
You know what I'm saying? We've gained a few new syndication partners. We now available on iHeartRadio and whatnot.
Oh man, we out here hard.
Out here busy in these streets.
Oh man.
So for all the new listeners out there, for our new audience out there, if you can give them a quick history lesson on who Suave Burgandy is.
Let's see the short version. I have a really long music resume.
Yes, indeed. This is true.
Publicly and privately, I have a really long music history and music resume. Written for a lot of people, done some records, been co-signed by some of your more esteemed members of the underground and mainstream music community.
Indeed.
See, this is that thing where this is where I'm supposed to be really conceited and real, extra about my background, but truth be told, I'm like, hey, it kind of speaks for itself.
It's funny how that works, ain't it?
Yeah, like when I'm supposed to be extra, when I'm supposed to live up to the reputation people give me, it's like, I'm out here. That's the short version. I'm out here.
Right on.
So, I mean, whether it be DJ Drama, whether it be DJ Chuck T, Bun B, the list of public cosigns, gets kind of hefty. It's got a little weight on it.
Absolutely.
But I feel like some of that stuff, and that's where it comes from. For me, some of that stuff doesn't matter if the music doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So I would rather just send you to the music. So
right
www.suave4mayor.com, @Suave, the number 4 mayor on all social media. Then you judge for yourself. Then I can put you on with all the people that say, yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, to a certain degree, I'm that guy.
Alright. So, for our OG audience out there.
Yeah.
Catch them up, man. What's been going on in Suave Burgandy's life since 2015?
Hashtag grown man.
Man.
Been out here trying to handle grown up business. So, got married. Had my first child. Have a daughter now.
The ruler.
Shout out to Ray of the Ruler.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, Tish the Terrific and Ray of the Ruler are at home now in slumber while Daddy is out getting to it. Those have been the major things. Just living real life away from the whole rigors of entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Because for a while it got to a point where it's like, this isn't fun.
You get burnt out.
Yeah, I think I was suffering from burnout. I had a form of entertainment PTSD.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
You know what I'm saying? It's that real, because enough things happened in a row to where it became traumatic, and it was like, this isn't fun. And for me, this being one of the things I love to do, for me to get burnt out and like almost get to the point of hating it, I knew it was time to just take a step back.
Understood, man. Well, we're gonna get into more of that a little bit later, everything that Suave Burgandy has got going on. Y'all stay tuned, man. This is Vincent Tucker Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Yup.
I would like to call myself to the front of the VTRS court.
Where's the People's Court?
I know.
Where's the theme music? Cue the thing. Cue the court thing.
This court is now in session. Bring in, you would be the offender. Vincent Tucker.
Who is Vincent Tucker?
What's the P word?
Plaintiff.
There you go. No, defendant.
Prosecutor.
No.
Plaintiff.
I guess I would be offended.
Are we on People's Court or are we on Law and Order?
I think we're on Law and Order.
Okay, so then you're a defendant.
Okay, there we go.
You need to put your right hand up. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Here's the defendant, Vincent Tucker.
Here we go. Now, why are we bringing you to the Vincent Tucker court?
Me Too movement founder Tarana Burke made an interesting statement during a panel at the Essence Festival in July, pretty much saying that if you don't see anything wrong with the little bump and grind by now, you're probably the problem. She made the argument that if you continue to spend money on R. Kelly's music, or you listen or play R. Kelly's music, every time that you spend on him, every listen that you give him, you're doing nothing but help empowering someone to help brutalize brown and black children.
What? Well, I get it, but I don't get it.
So pretty much you're saying if you provide any type of support for R. Kelly, you're supporting his, I don't have to use the word alleged, even though I watched the tape in high school.
Hashtag me too.
Sorry.
Hashtag me too.
You have to say it. I technically have to say alleged because he got cleared.
Right.
But, so she's pretty much saying if you support R. Kelly in any way, you're supporting his alleged issues. Now, why I'm here in VTRS court is because I know I've been a big proponent about getting R. Kelly up out of here.
But you still been jamming that music.
But you also talk to a guy who keeps his iPod on shuffle and the iTunes on shuffle, and I spend a good amount of my time on iTunes.
Okay.
And R. Kelly joints come on regularly. And
you don't skip them?
No.
Do you like them?
Yes.
Wait a minute. You actually push the like button?
You hit the thumbs up.
I mean, iTunes, I did rate the songs. I give 5 stars.
So yes.
So
you put the little heart too?
Yeah.
If it's your jam, or if it ticks you in a certain place?
No, but it is in my favorites because I play it so much. So it's safe to assume I'm guilty of hypocrisy, correct?
Yeah.
Or can there be a difference? Can you condemn someone for their alleged crimes and still enjoy their music?
Well, I'm not gonna go against the Me Too movement at this point. So what I will do is tell you that I feel like if you didn't understand that before, then maybe you might be, ignorant until proven guilty. But I don't think it's maybe if you stop hitting the like button on the R. Kelly, maybe you'll be alright.
Yeah, so that way it wouldn't show up when you put your iPod on shuffle.
Right. They won't keep queuing his stuff up. You gotta hit dislike.
Well, it's already in the favorites. So
That's why they keep feeding you his music, because they're serving you.
What step in
well, no, on my iTunes library, I have it's like
He ain't stepping in the name of love. He bumping and grinding.
it is the Bump and Grind. I just found a
Slaving and
a different
checking.
version of Bump and Grind I never heard as a kid. I've been playing the hell out of it.
Oh yeah?
And then right
Damn, I
after,
shouldn't
and
have
then
admitted it.
then right after Bump and Grind, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Come on.
Right. You know it.
You know, I only have one song for that album a lot. It's back and forth.
And then after Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, 12 play.
Yeah.
12.
And 12
And then,
play.
and then it seems like she ready.
And then I just found the leaked 12 play fourth quarter album that was going to come out in 2008, but leaked.
Right.
I just found it out. I just found it this week. So I've been playing that.
Okay, so
so go ahead.
I have a question. Does this count if, like, you've already bought the album and you just listening to the CD? Because technically, I've already spent that money. That money was spent like back in 1999.
Right. And nobody technically has to hear you listen to it.
Right.
So if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around,
But don't he still give them credit? Because with streams, he gives them the stream credit,
I mean,
right?
he's giving them credit, but
No, I'm talking about my personal iTunes library, so he's not getting stream credit.
I'm talking about me.
So it was already money spent.
Yeah.
Did she remind you of his Jeep?
So at that point,
She reminds you of your Jeep?
I mean, because if the money's already spent, technically, I'm just getting the most out of my investment.
right, you're getting value for your investment.
Hey, Keita.
Oh, it's not
You see how she set up her own joke?
This is residuals.
She set up her own joke.
I think the moral of the story is I'm guilty of hypocrisy. Let's just go to the next segment.
That's probably true.
Stop jamming.
Only on the Vincent Tucker Show. Playing today's best music.
But it lost mine, 'cause it's jealousy. They don't know about that state.
And I know that I can't get caught up. We could have been and we try to pretend.
What the though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the though. I don't bluff, bro.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. 3 iHeartRadio playlists are here, and the critics are raving. John in Nashville says,
Whoa, 80s playlists? Even new wave? This is huge.
Izzy 906 on Reddit says,
iHeart's got all these playlists from the 50s to now, and I'm like totally the only one who knows about them.
not anymore. iHeartRadio's free playlist. Want 70s funk? There's a playlist for that. Try it now. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. From Black Star Power, the Vincent Tucker Show.
Yeah.
what up, people? It's that young man Remon's Syndicated award-winning Vincent Tucker Radio Show. I got my man Suave Burgandy in the building with me.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgandy.
So right now we're gonna get into this segment called "Do You Hate This?"
Do I hate this?
Do you hate this? Where I'm going to ask you, we're going to talk about a few headlines real quick, a few news stories, and you're going to let me know whether or not, how you feel about it, whether you hate it or not.
I'm focused.
Alright? So, right now we're going to start off with LL Cool J and Ice Cube are trying to buy sports TV stations. Alright, so recently news broke that Ice Cube is attempting to purchase 22 regional sports channels from the Walt Disney Company.
Wow.
Alright, now according to TMZ, fellow hip-hop legend LL Cool J is also looking to join this potential team of investors. The sale is expected to cost somewhere from 15 to 25 billion.
With a B.
With a B.
Billion.
Fox Sports San Diego, Fox Sports, a whole bunch of Fox Sports.
Okay.
Alright, so Cube and LL are reportedly partnering with a billionaire to make the bid. Other sports figures and celebrities could also join the investment group. Now, how you feel about this, Why? Do you hate this or do you love it?
I love this. I love this. It feels like the last season of Ballers is coming to real life.
Oh man.
So for those of you who are up on the Baller series, like this is exactly kind of the
shout out to The Rock.
Yeah, it's out there in that framework. I love this for so many reasons. It plays into the big three.
Yeah,
obviously.
Absolutely.
Then I feel like it's going to open the door for more urban themed content. So I love the segue. I see how you set that up.
Hey, man,
I see how you do that.
Hey, man.
So the Broken Pencil Booking Company may have a TV home at some point, because there are African Americans and there are people of color and urban. There are people who love wrestling, who love hip hop, and they want to see that all come together. So it ain't even a color thing. It's just about, it's a culture thing.
Absolutely.
It's not a color thing.
Absolutely. I absolutely love this, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I've always been an advocate for, black excellence and people not only, expanding beyond our culture and doing things and getting into uncharted territory, but blazing the trail for the next generation coming up. So I absolutely love this especially from those two figureheads.
It's such a power move from those two.
Absolutely.
Because they've done so much in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
And they're from the hip hop culture. There's not a lot, there's no skeletons you can reach into the closet and pull out on two rappers, especially one who was a part of NWA that's going to embarrass anybody. If he said it, he's going to stand for it. So, I mean, this is a win on so many levels.
Speaking of which,
all right,
it's a great segue.
Okay.
First of all, did you vote?
Of course I did.
Okay, so for those of y'all who are aware, we have a celebrity in chief. What we call him? Don Cheeto.
Toupee Fiasco.
Toupee Fiasco.
Shout out to Pastor Troy for that.
So,
Pastor Troy Venice.
Absolutely. So shout out to Ice Cube, because Ice Cube recently dropped a new song going at President of the United States of America called Arrest the President. Alright, the new song is set to be on his upcoming 10th solo album, Everything's Corrupt.
That might be foreshadowing.
Absolutely, which is set to be released next month in December. So, Suave, where you at on this? And first of all, have you heard the song?
I have not heard the song, but that won't be the case for very much longer now that I know that it's...
We might have to pull it up during the break.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we might have to make use of our break time.
Absolutely.
I love it. I mean, this is a continuation of my love from the first story.
Yeah.
Like, for those who don't know, like, especially as I've matured, Ice Cube has become even more so one of those people that I look at as like a role model.
Absolutely.
As a hero,
Absolutely.
as a person, like, okay, if you're gonna travel a path and go into a certain arena, I feel like Ice Cube is the blueprint for success in hip hop, while remaining true to who you started as, but also showing growth as an individual and as a person.
Yeah.
I don't have anything bad, negative, even harshly critical to say about Ice Cube. I feel like, power to the people.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, yes indeed.
That's the new dilly. Matter of fact, I'm starting that now. Hey, yay.
Alright, so, I have heard the song. I love it. Ice Cube is definitely in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ice Cube definitely delivers. It's good to hear the old Ice Cube back on rap. You know what I'm saying? He's rapping, he's spitting them bars, he got mad. I love it. I love this story. I love the fact that he's going at the president. I have nothing bad to say about this. Alright, so, last story. King of Diamonds. The King of Diamonds strip club is shut down and padlocked in Miami.
Wait, what?
So, according to reports, the famed King of Diamonds strip club has been shut down. Last summer, the club went into foreclosure after struggling to pay the mortgage on the club for several years. Now, the owners,
they pay tip out.
The owners of the club were supposed to pay over $300,000 in one lump sum payment to their landlords in early November, and an additional $85,000 each month after that.
That balloon payment.
Hey man, but the deal fell apart. KLD's owner failed to make the payment. Additionally, in October, the mortgage holder learned that KLD had been operating under numerous code violations. So the club was finally closed on October 5th over the concerns about the safety and all of that kind of stuff. And then this past week, the sheriffs came in and padlocked it. Now, Suave, where you at on this one? How you feel about it?
Seeing as though I have intimate knowledge of the industry in question, I'm gonna say, I don't know whose perspective I want to. I don't hate it.
Right.
I don't love it either.
Right.
I'm kind of in the middle on this. Like, I understand how this got to where it got to.
Yeah.
There's so many people that potentially, the comedy aspect is to say the girls ain't paying tip out.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody collecting their share, so you ain't got money for this balloon payment.
Right.
But the truth is, there's a balloon payment, and it's probably more, it costs more than what it's worth.
Right.
And then with all the violations and everything, somebody's not handling their business on that side. Everybody's dropping the ball, and they decided to leave, you know, the ownership of the building holding the bag.
Man.
Which is never cool. If
right.
you know, when you're the financier and someone leaves you holding the bag, that's never cool. So don't do that. Don't run off on the plug. For those of you out there listening, running off on the plug is, I don't know who gave you the idea that was okay. Let alone trying to do it twice.
That is against the rules.
Do not run off on the plug. Not even once. Matter of fact, answer every time the plug calls.
Every single time.
Every time. The first ring, if you can do it. But yeah, this is
rather unfortunate.
Yeah.
I have no idea what
that feels like a Dallas story. Like don't tell me this happened in Miami, like where it's really popping. Like this sounds like, you know, local news.
Yeah, I have no idea what all the rappers and athletes are gonna do when they stop through Miami.
They gonna go to another building. KOD will be in another building.
Probably. Them strippers just gonna move over to
That's
this.
it.
And they ain't gonna pay their
the employees, they will find another club to go to for the time being until KOD secures another building, and then they'll start this whole process over again. It'll go through litigation, nobody will get paid, and everybody will be angry at each other.
Food for thought.
Yes.
Remember that. More Vincent Tucker Radio Show coming up right after this. Y'all stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Y'all know his name?
What up, people? It's that young man Remon holding it down for the rest of the cast and crew of the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. Got my man Suave Burgandy in here with me.
Again, you stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgandy.
Alright, now it's time for this week's Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Alright.
Now, it's time for the good.
Big shout out to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union on welcoming a new baby girl into the world.
Oh man, congratulations.
Absolutely. The actress took to Instagram on Thursday announcing that she and husband Dwayne Wade are parents to a new baby girl. Dwayne has 3 children of his own, but this is the couple's first child together.
Well, that's a blessing. Congratulations.
Absolutely. So, I mean, Suave, you the only parent in the room. So how does that feel, like welcoming a baby into the world?
When it's your first, it's life changing. It's like, it makes everything you were doing before reshuffle in its importance.
Wow. Okay. So
it's an eye, especially when, it's in a situation where either you were expecting it or you're welcoming it. It's not, there's no turmoil around it. So I was blessed enough to be, you know, married, you know, in my situation, and then be blessed with a child. So it's not like this is a random child and I got to figure out how we're going to co-parent type thing. So when I can really appreciate it for the blessing it is, like, it's life changing. It gave me a completely different focus,
new perspective on life.
A lot of growth involved. I was able to shed a lot of negative habits and shed them quickly. Okay. Not only for the benefit of myself, but for the benefit of my child.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's grown man BI for real. Yeah. It's grown up stuff.
I look forward to taking that journey one of these days, man.
Indeed. Uncle Suave is gonna be, Uncle Suave is gonna find all the cool stuff.
Now, it's time for the bad.
Shout out, well, I don't know if this is a shout out, but Jimmy Hinchman, just couldn't catch a break this week.
That's rough.
Jimmy was convicted of the murder of Lodi Mack, G-Unit representative, back in, November 2017. The case finally came to a close this week with Jimmy's formal sentence being 2 more life sentences. Jimmy Hinchman is currently serving a life sentence, for drug trafficking and weapons possession.
So now you are at triple life.
Yeah. Man, ain't no possibility you getting out.
So, just so happen you do something cool and you hit a juke move on the first life sentence. You still got 2 more life sentences before you can get to the goal line.
Yeah.
That is rough, fam. That is bad. You sure that's not ugly?
I mean,
you sure you didn't get them mixed up?
I think we got an uglier story after that.
Ooh.
So, I mean, like, and this is kind of, because for those of y'all who don't know, Jimmy Hinchman was, also implicated in the whole Tupac shooting back in 1994. People are saying that he had something to do with that.
Karma is real.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot going on, and I'm sure 50 Cent is somewhere celebrating about this.
He's giggling.
He's giggling. You know.
Yeah, he is giggling somewhere.
Shout out to 50 Cent. Was Petty Eddie.
Yeah, he's sitting here
the king of petty.
He's trying to negotiate Ja Rule's masters right for a cheaper price. He's bargaining on some stuff he can snap his fingers on. That's petty.
I would say they still got their masters intact.
I hope so, because that's death blow.
I mean, for real.
As if we not already there.
At that point, somebody got to get shot again. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to advocate violence. However, I wouldn't blame you if you went there.
Now it's time for the ugly.
Rap mogul Russell Simmons is going after the woman who concocted a story that he claims is pure fiction in order to extort him. Simmons has been accused of sexually harassing or assaulting 17 women. Wow. The Def Jam co-founder has denied each of these claims, including the bizarre $10 million lawsuit in which he allegedly threatened to rape a woman's son unless she had sex with him.
Wait a minute. Those right. How do you?
He basically told her, I'm either gonna do you or your son. You decide.
Nah,
that's what she's claiming.
That's very booty warrior-ish.
You know what I'm saying? I like you, and I want you.
And we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
My goodness.
It's hurtful.
The woman who is only known as Jane Doe claims that Russell Simmons raped her after a Def Jam concert back in 1988. Russell Simmons claims the lawsuit is just an attempt for cash. In the previous allegations against him, Simmons wants her to fork over $34,000 in legal bills. He is accrued since, trying to defend himself against these allegations. So
I'm not going to get on this slippery slope because this is exactly what it is. This is ugly.
Yeah,
this is ugly. It's a story.
So
you stay true to that?
Absolutely.
I'm going to say I don't advocate rape or sexual assault in any way, shape, or form, whether it be male on female, right, female on male, right, or male on male, female on female. I don't condone it at all.
At all.
I just want all the facts to match up.
Absolutely.
I want the truth to be told.
Agreed.
So if the truth is told and the man is exonerated, we gotta keep that same energy.
Absolutely.
And then if any of these 17 are true, you gotta keep that same energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's too much of it being given away for you to be out here taking any of it.
Absolutely. I've always been an advocate of we need to create an environment where victims of sexual assault and sexual abuse feel comfortable enough to come out and tell their story. Absolutely. and seek justice for what happened to them.
Absolutely.
But we also need to create an environment where people can't just come out and make false allegations and we just believe them without questioning anything they say.
Equal rights means equal rights.
Absolutely. Alright, so that's it for this week's Good, Bad, Ugly. Y'all stay tuned. We got more coming up with VTRS.
Playing today's best music.
All I really wanna see is us. I don't really need a D, I need the all I back need is us. I got.
Just remember what goes around comes around. You don't gotta worry about me.
I did half a Zan, 13 hours till I land. Had me out like a light, 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 like a light.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver? You're in Philly? No problem. In Atlanta? And you miss LA? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist station. Just type in the artists you love and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. With their biggest hits, all commercial free. Free radio and unlimited music all in one app. iHeartRadio.
What up, people? It's that young man Remon, and it's time for this week's reality check. Now, this week's reality check is going out to people out here with these high expectations. Alright? Now, I've noticed that we as a people tend to place expectations on other people based on perceptions that we have of them, right? Like we hold someone to a standard based on some ideal or some image that we made up in our heads, who they are, who we want them to be. We tend to judge people based on our principles, our values, and our morals.
True that.
We do this and then they get disappointed when people fall short of those expectations that we have for them. We get upset when people don't live up to our standards that we set for them. We do this not realizing that we set ourselves up for disappointment from Jump Street.
True.
Alright, see, there's a principle that I practice in life. That principle is this. Lower my expectations of people to minimize my disappointment and maximize my appreciation. You see, I don't give people the opportunity to disappoint me. Generally, when I do, they succeed at it every single time. You're setting yourself up for failure when you hold people to a high standard or place these expectations on people, and then you get mad when they don't live up to them. Now, have you ever set yourself up for disappointment?
Like, I have a rule. Like, I can be friends with anyone because I don't put them in a box.
Right, absolutely.
So I let them be as good of a
absolutely.
as they want to be.
Absolutely.
And I'm able to function with them inside those parameters.
Absolutely.
Also, because I live by a code,
right,
I expect that home training was present everywhere, and it's not. So because it's not, I can't carry everyone the same way. Like
absolutely.
I saw the Pusha T Joe Budden interview
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
He's like, we from the street.
Yeah.
This is the music industry.
Yeah.
I can't carry you like that.
Right.
And a light bulb went off for me. It's like, I can't carry everybody the way
absolutely.
I would carry. Like my inner circle, we have a code and we have an understanding.
Absolutely.
So if something goes on with that inner circle, we can hold each other accountable and we can, enforce that code.
Absolutely.
But other people out here just out here freelancing and willy-nilly, and you weren't raised that way. So I can't get frustrated and put that type of stress on my mind, body, and spirit by trying to hold you accountable for something you never built for.
Absolutely, man. So the way I say it is, your expectations and standards that you set for people should only be based on who that person is and what that person does. Otherwise, if you're holding them to expectations that they didn't agree to, if and when they fall short, there's no one to be disappointed in but yourself. That's this week's reality check. You can take that to the bank.
I held you down for the longest.
Bring it back, Mr. Heartbreak.
Dude, Noah from Chicago.
Shot-town.
I just found out my girl has chlamydia. She told me to get tested. I have an appointment tomorrow to see if I have it. Right now, I think I have quote-unquote chlamydia sore throat. That can't be a real thing.
It
is?
How do you know?
Charity.
Because I study.
Okay.
Don't assume the right. That's the question I was going to ask. Is that a real thing?
I read, Negro.
Okay,
you can get oral STD.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Good point. Okay. She told me she got it back in September. She took antibiotics, but it reappeared sometime recent. Do you think she was messing around?
How can it doesn't just reappear?
It does not just reappear.
No. If she didn't get it from you, she got it from somebody else, bro.
Because you don't, antibiotics either worked or they didn't. You either finish the antibiotics and you're good.
Which most people don't.
Right.
Yeah, to take them right.
Or you get it finished. So did she cheat again or she just stopped taking antibiotics?
She cheated again.
She cheated again. Okay. The antibiotics are 10 days. That's not,
You gotta take them antibiotics
but that's good that she told him. That was nice of her.
That's because she didn't want to get it back after she got herself clean.
So let's forget about the cheating and the cheating without a condom.
Right. My problem, you type this message, you obviously knew she was cheating. Yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't ask the question. And I'm sorry to be so blunt, but yes, she cheated on you. You need to resolve that within your relationship about the fact that you have a problem with her cheating on you and giving you an STD.
I mean, forget about the fact talking about resolving a relationship. You just need to lead this relationship.
It does sound like she's a little
reckless, bro.
Yeah.
And why is she cheating multiple times? And hopefully it's the same guy.
I mean, it's not like the same guy if she got it again. He probably didn't finish taking his antibiotics.
Didn't even take any antibiotics because he even know he had it.
That means they all, that's a lot of,
swimming in the
that's a lot of
pool.
bacteria being shared.
Chlamydia of the throat. So what was he doing, Remon, since he reached so much to get...
What are these symptoms?
Yeah. So I've never heard of that.
So I'm going to assume you do know how this works, don't you, Charity?
Oh, God.
So what's the advice that we're giving them to leave? Oh, girl,
leave.
Take your pills and leave.
Well, first
of all, go to your doctor's appointment
and get an official diagnosis. It sounds like you went to WebMD
and you got strep throat.
That's why I didn't think chlamydia sore throat was a real thing. So, but apparently it is. So go get an official diagnosis. You know, he sound like a WebMD guy. He was on WebMD.
I think so.
The chlamydia sore throat.
I swear I never heard this before.
So, like, when you take the medicine...
Does that mean it hurts when you drink?
Right, I've never heard this before.
Does medicine go everywhere? Because if he's got it in his throat, he probably has it, you know...
Your body tells it where to go.
I need to read. I don't believe in this. I have to read about this. I've never heard of chlamydia sore throat.
What are the symptoms?
Wait, but then I don't want this stuff popping up.
That means he was. that means that she did what she did.
Look,
and then she let him go down.
This is the reason why.
So he's munching on.
Yeah, this is the reason why you have to stop telling people that oral sex is not sex, because you can still get STDs through oral sex.
It's also possible to get
gonorrhea.
This is real.
Well, no, that was totally somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
You can also get gonorrhea.
Well, it does say it's possible to carry the bacteria in your throat and not know it. So my thing is, how does he know?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right, because which chlamydia does she have? Does she have the throat too? Because
maybe they got from
stop kissing.
Maybe she just kissed somebody, and that's how she got it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
Is that what that is?
Somebody lying was laughing.
Wow.
So I think we all agree you need to leave.
The girl's trash, bro.
Go to the doctor, get a diagnosis. Cause like Remon said, this could just be strep throat. And then leave
I mean, I still think you need to have a conversation with her. You probably
What kind of conversation? It's over?
I mean, no, we had this discussion last week. Like, cheating does not mean the relationship is over, but cheating and sharing STDs with me might mean the relationship is over. Okay.
Ain't no might about it.
I'm just saying, like, you need to have a conversation with her.
You absolutely have no respect for me.
I mean, but at this point too, like, you have the upper hand, so you may want to stretch that out for a little bit and then break up with her. Right.
I got symptoms from.
Like, get some dinners,
Noah.
Go out to a couple dinners or something,
We got official symptoms.
Noah, can you please let us know if you have a low-grade fever and swollen lymph nodes? Then that means you probably have.
What are lymph nodes?
It's in your throat.
Yeah. This part is all swollen. But that's also signs of strep.
Like the flu and
everything.
Yeah.
His food got stripped out.
Playing today's best music. You can't tell me I ain't fly. I know I'm super fly.
Big enough, got me tripping on you. My bad for tripping on you.
The Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
Have you checked out iHeartRadio's free playlist yet? Not only do we have one perfect for any moment, we also created playlists perfect for any decade. Flashback to the 80s, 90s, but stay right here in 2018. Plus, we're talking pop, rock, hip-hop, and we'll even break it down by the year. Hello, 1999. Now, can I get a what? There's thousands of iHeartRadio playlists. Find the one perfect for you. Trust us, there's a free playlist for that. Try it now. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
We back. Syndicated award-winning, it's the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. It's that young man Remon holding it down. Got my man Suave Burgandy in the building.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgandy.
Man, it's time for this week's He Say, She Say. Normally during this segment, we, Miss Keena would ask a question and, you know, from a lady's perspective and come back and ask the fellas, you know, on our opinions on it. So this week, you know what I'm saying, Miss Keenan's out, so we're gonna fill in for her. So what's the question that we got over there?
The question, shout out to Blockmate Sneed came through with the question that we got.
What up?
Do you support your spouse's habits?
Okay.
Note the word spouse.
Spouse.
Not significant other.
Right.
Not rando. Not, on again, off again friends.
Right.
Spouse. Do you support? Meaning, for the most part, financially, but we can expound on it and, you know, we can encompass some other things to include support.
Okay.
Habits. Things they do that you may not do.
Such as like drinking and
smoking. Stuff like that. Just habits. Stamp collecting.
Okay.
Anything of that nature. Like for me, you know, sneakers.
Right.
Things of that nature. Okay. Do you support your spouse's habits?
And vice versa. Do you expect your spouse to support your habits?
Expect or encourage. These are all things we'll touch on during the segment, but we about to get to it.
Okay, so starting off with you, what's your thoughts on it?
I feel like within reason.
Okay.
That this is okay.
Okay.
If it's not something that's detrimental to their health and or well-being, I'm cool with supporting habits. Me personally, my wife has a habit of, she makes candles. So it started as just like, kind of like, busy therapy, I guess. Mm-hmm. Just, you know, something to do, some craft making basically. Yeah. And it spawned off into a supplemental income.
Nice.
So yeah, I support that. Absolutely. That's a habit. It's something she likes to do. She enjoys doing it. It's therapeutic for her. And then it ended up bringing some money back in. So of course I support that. I support it, you know, emotionally, and then I've supported it financially by things like that.
Side note, sis, I might need some new candles. So
we got that work.
I'm put in my order right after.
Shout out to Tish's Treasure.
Absolutely.
So find it, follow it.
Okay, so basically, if it's you know, if it's something that's productive, you support it.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
If it's productive and it's not detrimental to your health and well-being, I'm cool with it.
Okay. So
within reason.
Okay, so now that brings up an interesting question. It's something that's not detrimental to their health, but it may be detrimental to you financially. Shopping. Like going out and just, I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna go shopping and I'm gonna blow a check at the mall.
I'm good for retail therapy, so this is kind of hard for me. But I've learned in my retail therapy what is within reason. You got to put boundaries. You got to know how to function within your boundaries. If you know bills still need to be paid, you got to learn how to sit down and just ride that bad day out.
Yeah.
But if you done took care of business and you got a couple extra dollars, it's cool to go, you know, handle your business and kind of treat yourself a little bit. I feel like you need to do it on a regular basis anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's therapeutic.
I do it I try to do it every time my birthday roll around.
I don't even wait that long. Every opportunity that I have some disposable income, I'm gonna try to do something. Like once you've paid all the bills, taken care of all, you know, the groceries and all that, and then put a little bit to the side and you got a little bit left over, do something nice for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Treat yourself.
Go to your favorite restaurant, get some takeout.
Yeah.
Go, you know, get a pair of sneakers, go get a shirt, go get a hat, go do something that you enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that needs to be a regular occurrence, because so many times when you work and then you have a check come in and then it disappears on necessities, and you never get to enjoy your money, but you always working trying to get some more.
Absolutely. Okay. So I agree. You know, I definitely agree that you need to treat yourself. I think there's, you know, when it becomes an issue is when you have situations where people don't know their limits.
True.
Right. Like they go to the, they go to the mall or they go shopping or whatever, and they're not aware of how much they're spending. They're just swiping the card and they're just swiping the card. And then you can put yourself in a financial bind, especially if you're in a situation where you haven't taken care of the bills yet. You haven't paid your rent. You haven't paid your car note. You ain't taken care of the necessities yet. And you out here just swiping the card.
See, that's that thing, putting expectations on people. I expect for you to know how to function with your money.
Right.
To know, like, hey, let me do what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So then I can do what I want to do.
Right. Absolutely.
And you start off doing what you want to do and then try to find a way to do what you're supposed to do.
See, now your priorities is backwards.
And because we are one at that point, like, we can't function like that.
Absolutely.
Like, we have to take care of business first and then we'll go we'll go have some fun.
Absolutely.
Or we'll put this to the side and then put some more with it and then go have fun.
Okay. Now, let's say your significant other has a habit that is not hurting them physically. It's not hurting them financially.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, it pulls away from the relationship, meaning it takes them away from you. I'll give you a good example. Like, some people love to travel.
All right.
They travel and they spending a whole lot of time outside the house and not taking care of home. Is that a habit that you're going to support?
We got to be able to travel together. Like,
every time?
Maybe not every time.
Okay.
I mean, because there's work travel and then there's leisure travel.
Yeah.
If it's leisure travel, for the most part, I feel like we can get a fair percentage of those trips together. Even if we go together and then we have separate itineraries. But that goes back to the actual relationship itself. Like, how is it that you're comfortable, the person you chose to spend the rest of your life with,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden, I'm going to leave you as often as possible. This ain't work related. I'm voluntarily leaving you at the house.
Right.
Some about that just doesn't line up for me.
All right. So far I've agreed with everything that you said. Now, I think a lot of times people, they commit to a relationship and they commit to a marriage without really fully getting to know the person. So I think if you equip people with the information that they need up front, saying, hey, this is what I like to do. This is a habit that I have, and is this something that you can deal with? I think a lot of times people, they commit to somebody and they don't know this person's habits. They don't know what this person, that this person loves to shop. They don't know that this person loves to smoke, drink, or whatever. Right. And I just believe in open and honest communication. So that way, I put this on the table and you decide whether or not you can deal with it.
Give a person an opportunity to make a grown-up decision.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like there are a lot of people that get into relationships and they get married because they're in love with the idea of being married and not so much in love with the person. So they just took the first option that presented themselves. And then it turns into a problem when they don't fit inside the box that you want them to fit in.
Yeah.
And then you guys don't communicate well enough to work through some of the stuff. And it becomes an even bigger problem, and there's like underlying tension that you never discuss.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a normal habit or a normal appreciation of something that, probably you guys could share together turns into a point of contention to where it splits you apart.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, my wife's watching now, and she brought up the top, workaholics. So, during my hiatus, like
something I'm guilty of.
Right.
Something we're both guilty of.
Both guilty of. So during my hiatus from entertainment, when I was kind of just living real life and establishing real life, I took a step back from entertainment.
Yeah.
Even though I still, I would talk to the people that in the inner circle and we would plan stuff and I'd handle business here and there. But for the most part, I was on pause. I wasn't actively pursuing anything.
Yeah.
But then from her own recommendation, I started back getting pretty active. And now we're at a point to where I'm not quite as active as I was.
Yeah.
But I'm about 70% back in.
And it's the same thing with my brother, Forte. Shout out to Forte.
Shout out to Forte. So being like 70% on, it's like I have a lot more obligations and I take opportunities. So like I did the Verbal Picasso last night. My brother Remon hit me up hey, if he calls, I know it's serious, so I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
So I'm here, I'm DJing later tonight. Like, I'm a workaholic to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And because I'm self-employed and my income is self-generated, I gotta make moves.
Yeah.
And I have to be cognizant of how that affects my family life.
Yeah.
Because my daughter absolutely needs time, my wife needs time, and on top of that, I need time.
Absolutely.
So you have to learn how to juggle all of that. You gotta learn how to not only listen to you, but listen to the concerns of the people who are important to you. So even though she absolutely recommended that I get back active, do more music, get back in the podcasting and hosting and doing all these different things. She's supportive of it. She supports my habit.
Yeah.
But if my habit's going to be detrimental to our relationship, I'll gladly cut back on some stuff.
Absolutely.
But that you gotta be understanding about who you are and who you're dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to make sure your priorities are straight. Right. Home always gets taken care of first. And then, whatever your habits and your vices and whatever all that stuff is afterwards.
Do your chores.
Make sure your home is taken care of at all times. All right?
Cut the grass.
Take out the trash. All that.
Wash them dishes.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
You're unique. You're the only you that will ever be. You deserve a radio station just as unique. Try your My Favorites radio. All the music you love on one station. Only on iHeartRadio.
You do know that there is branding power when you team up with the Vincent Tucker Radio Show, right? Make sure that if you have a business out there that you want to advertise, go to VincentTuckerRadioshow.com for more information.
Thanksgiving Day. It's the Feed the Homeless Drive, Emerald City Bar and Grill, 2532 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Dallas. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Get on out there. I know you're going to want some of that food. You can come out. Plus, they're going to have some toiletries and different things like that they're also going to be giving away. If you want to make a donation or volunteer, visit www.mbkdallas.org or you can call 877-998-4623.
This is the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
Y'all know what it is, man. Syndicated award winner. It's Vincent Tucker Radio Show. It's that young man Remon in the building. Got the homie Suave Burgandy rocking with me.
Man, you stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgandy.
Man, first of all, I want to thank Suave Burgandy for sitting in with me. Me and Suave ain't done the show together in a long time.
Man, I appreciate VTRS Online just for giving the opportunity to be reckless in a very controlled format. Cause there aren't very many people who would do that. So I appreciate the opportunity and I do not take my responsibility lightly. So I came in here on my best behavior. No slip ups, no foul ups.
Right.
So this is great success.
Final shout outs and comments before we get up out of here.
Oh man, shout out to everybody who supports the campaign. Shout out to everybody who is following at Suave for Mayor on all social media platforms, who is using the political status and mayor media hashtags. Everyone who is patiently waiting on Mayor Music 3. Everyone who is patiently waiting on Suavetoberfest. Shout out to my mama and him.
Hey.
Shout out to my baby Ray the Ruler. Shout out to my wife. I love you. Everybody who tuned in on Facebook Live, they got in here with me. Shout out to my brother Remon, as always. I say, if my phone rings and his picture pops up, I know it's serious. So that's always. Shout out to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show for always being extended family, me being the sixth man coming off the bench.
Absolutely.
And thank you, the listener.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, the listener, for tuning in, because without you, we're just talking to the wall.
Make sure you tune into the Broken Pencil podcast.
Yes, episode 13, we just knocked that down. Shout out to @Danger1. Broken Pencil Booking Company on Broken Pencil BC on all social media platforms, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. Find us on all social media. Find us on all streaming platforms to catch up, like, subscribe, the whole nine. We got more coming up. Survivor Series is coming up, so there's gonna be some huge things going on.
It's gonna be crazy.
We're quite the entertaining event.
Alright, real quick, I want to shout out to the rest of the cast and crew of the Vincent Tucker Radio Show, Vincent Heartbreak Tucker, Miss Keena, Yellow Star, Charity E, DJ SQ, Chris P. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning into the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. We greatly appreciate y'all. Once again, I want to shout out to my brother, Suave Burgandy, my brother from another mother.
You dig?
Yeah, dig that. Real quick, I want to shout out to everybody that's been volunteering for the MBK Dallas. So before we get up out of here, I want to make sure I plug this.
Nikki, what up?
MBK Dallas is going down on Thanksgiving Day. This year is the 9th annual MBK Dallas Thanksgiving Drive. We will be feeding some of our homeless brothers and sisters, as well as the low-income families at Emerald City Bar and Grill in the South Dallas area.
Southside.
This event is powered by CWC Entertainment Group, LLC, the Urban Advocate, Street Speaker Media. Shout out to Duper. Shout out to, again, Vincent Heartbreak Tucker. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Jaquita, who is our new secretary over there at MBK Dallas. For more information on donating and or volunteering, you can definitely hit us up on all social media platforms here at VTRS Online. You can also hit me directly at Urban Advocate on Instagram, The Urban Advocate on Facebook. So that's it for this young man, Remon. I'm up out of here. Peace and many blessings.
Every episode of the award-winning Vincent Tucker Radio Show is produced by Aaron Channel. The VTRS is a CWC Entertainment Group LLC production.